to the Final Four starts with the first four. And that's where we are tonight. Welcome, everyone, to Dayton, Ohio. 2 games tonight, 2 games tomorrow night. Winners advancing to the first round Thursday and Friday. In our first game tonight, the Fairleigh Dickinson Knights, Northeast Conference Tournament champions, will take on Prairie View A&M. The Panthers punched their ticket by winning the Southwestern Athletic Conference Tournament. In Game 2, a meeting of legendary coaches as Belmont will take on Temple. And a pleasant good evening, everyone. Kevin Harlan, along with Hall of Famer Reggie Miller and Dan Bonner in his 34th year covering the NCAA tournament. And the award-winning reporter, Dana Jacobson. And Dana, from this first four in the past, we have seen teams not only reach and win a round of 64-32, they've gone all the way to the Final Four.
Yeah, Kevin, if you think about it, these 4 teams just epitomize what the tournament is all about. This is the heart behind one shining moment. It is what fans here in Dayton came to see and what people at home are watching for. Tonight, you don't know. It could come from a team that's looking for its first ever tournament victory, or perhaps a final season hoping to get life. Even a senior that's seeking redemption. All of these players and the coaches here on the floor, they once dreamt about getting to the big dance. Kevin, now their only dreams are about still dancing.
All right, Dana, thank you very much. Let's break this one down and begin with Reg talking about Fairleigh Dickinson. Darnell Edge may be their edge.
And Darnell can flat out shoot the basketball. Think about this. Led the NEC in three-point percentage at 47%. But over his last 17 games, 58%. You need senior leadership right about this time for tournament. So I ask you, Dan Bonner, does Darnell have the edge?
Well, he may if he's as clever as you, Reg, because he's going to go up against Dennis Jones, the Defensive Player of the Year in his conference. But also remember this. Prairie View has their own clever score. Darnell Edge can put points on the board for Fairleigh Dickinson, but Gary Blackston is an outstanding left-handed scorer, a very reliable guy. He can score from outside, he can score in transition, he can score in the mid-range. This is a guy who may just give Prairie View the edge.
Here we go. The road to the Final Four starts here with the first four on True TV.
Coverage of the NCAA men's basketball tournament is sponsored by AT&T. More for your thing. That's our thing. Sonic. This is how you Sonic. Shell Rotella Gas Truck. This is truck oil. And by Degree, official partner of March Madness.
Expert. Make your picks and dominate. All while following live games from your bracket. Go to NCAA.com and the March Madness Live app to play.
Determined to succeed together. That's it. No matter what. They've got players. One glance, they can play. They're champions. We are champions. Everyone in this tournament is a champion. Now we have to find out where we stand. Every little thing.
Well, you saw Greg Herenda in his 6th season as the coach of the Knights of Fairleigh Dickinson. Conference record of 12-6, overall record of 20-13. They beat St. Francis in the Northeast Conference Tournament contest final. And here you take a look at the starting lineups for each team. On the Prairie View A&M side, a conference record of 17-1. And what is most fascinating about what they are all about Dan Bonner, they began the season, Prairie View, 1-11. It's shocking that they are where they are.
Kevin, they won their first game. They won their first game on the road against Santa Clara. They played 11 consecutive games on the road. They lost them all, played a tough schedule. But Byron Scott, the Prairie View coach, told us that while they were playing those games, he realized that they were better than that, and they went 17-1 in their conference.
Well, you just saw Byron Smith, fourth-year head coach of the Panthers, former pro basketball player overseas in Australia and Turkey and Greece. And here he is with the 16th seed Prairie View A&M against the 16th seed Fairleigh Dickinson Knights.
Can we go back to Coach Horenda's message for his troops?
Sure.
I like that. Everyone is a champion or they wouldn't be here in the tournament. Now let's find out where we belong. I mean, doesn't that get you guys going? Let's find out where we stand, guys.
Well, we don't stand, Reggie. We're sitting over here.
Terrific officiating crew here at the first four in Dayton. Brian Dorsey has officiated one Final Four and 9 NCAA tournaments. Kevin Brill, 11 NCAAs. And Lewis Garrison in his second NCAA tournament. And here we go. The tournament underway. And Fairleigh Dickinson will have it first. Their first NCAA tournament in 3 years, 6th overall.
And Prairie View really likes to pressure you in the man-to-man.
Stripped away. Nice move by Gerard Andrus, and the other way they fly.
And this is where Prairie View is going to have to be aggressive, coming up with steals, creating offense from your defense. Nice first possession defensively for the Panthers.
With the ball now, Gary Blackston, leading scorer, leading rebounder. And the SWAC tournament MVP, as Dan said, a left-hander, and he shows his wares on the baseline for a quick 2-0 lead for the Panthers.
Well, he is a very reliable scorer. You saw that step-back move. He is very dangerous with that.
Fairleigh Dickinson, they've won 8 consecutive games, 14 of 16 games, so they are on a roll. That's a three-point shot, and down the hatch it goes. Elijah Williams, who is only 9 of 17 from 3 coming into this tournament.
That's a very low volume, Kevin, but a very high percentage.
I would say so.
Maybe he was saving his best for the tournament.
That's right. Bring it out now.
Well, nice dribble penetration by Jenkins to set up that three-point shot by Williams.
Hit the top, out of bounds. Watch Blackston moments ago.
Well, this is one of the things that he does best. He drives the defender back, and that's a bigger defender. That's a 6'7" guy that he drove him away, and then with that little step-back jump shot.
There's the full-court defensive pressure here by the Panthers.
Here's the guy you were talking about, Darnell Edge. Senior with this team. With a nice feed down low. And a spinning shot will go from Mike Holloway. He is a junior. And the other way now comes Prairie View A&M. Conference record of 17-1, overall record of 22-12.
Something I've already noticed. Little Jenkins has been able to penetrate this defense by Prairie View and get whatever he wants in the paint.
That's a shot from outside by Devontae Patterson. He is the second leading scorer out of Bridgeport, Texas, and Bridgeport High School. A 6'7" junior.
6 straight double-figure games for Patterson, where he's averaged over 20 points during that stretch. So a nice finality to his season.
Edge outside with a 3. Nice stroke. He's a 47% three-point shooter.
There's your guy, Reg.
Yes. Can flat out get it done from distance.
Fairleigh Dickinson is one of the most efficient three-point shooting teams in the country.
Patterson got it out. Driving inside, Dennis Jones. Tap and try, will not go from Patterson. With the ball, Jaleel Jenkins. Sophomore from West Virginia. That's a 3. It's off. With the collision inside and a rebound chased down by Elijah Williams. That's a foul going on the Knights.
Kevin, you don't change who you are depending upon the game you're playing, but Fairleigh Dickinson has a distinct advantage in bulk on the inside, and so I'm not sure that you want to be settling for those three-point jump shots, even though they shoot the three well.
Elijah Williams just picked up his first personal foul.
Now look at the defensive pressure here by FDU full court.
Broken by Devontae Patterson.
Got numbers.
3-on-1. And his pass out of the reach of Iwan Ellis, who is coming off the wing.
Now, Dan Bonner, how many times in our lifetime when we played the game of basketball, when you would do those 3-on-2, 3-on-1 drills, you've got to be able to convert in the open court like that.
Well, there's no question. Each of these teams likes to pressure. Each of these teams relies heavily on steals. So when you get transition opportunities, you're going to have to convert them.
Edge down low, facing a double. And sneaks a nice pass inside for Holloway. With a rebound. Yeah, Andrus picks it up. Leading shot blocker. Best offensive rebounder. Gets a defensive board right there. And that pass is thrown away. It sails over the head of Iwan Ellis. Another turnover.
Back-to-back turnovers here by Prairie View. And that's the last thing you need. And speaking with both coaches, they're saying turnovers have been an issue in our losses. We can control the tempo and control the pace and not turn the basketball over. Our success rate goes up.
Edge. Jenkins. Inside, boy, they got a lot of traffic around him. Every time Edge touches that ball, he's got a couple of white jerseys right all over him. And here comes Dennis Jones the other way for the Panthers.
There's another steal. Prairie View A&M is number 9 in the NCAA in creating steals, so this is their game.
I want to pass.
Iwan Ellis couldn't finish up.
Little nerves on both sides here.
Reggie, there has to be. There has to be.
Both these teams, as we said, started the season in rough fashion. This Fairleigh Dickinson team began the season 6-11.
I mean, think about that, starting the season 1-11.
Yeah, and that's Prairie View A&M. And here comes the other way with a drive and a beautiful knockaway at the other end. Rejection by Caleb Bishop.
Now, can you score at the other end? Had numbers. What a block shot by Bishop.
How about Jenkins, though, laying flat on his backside, ball coming his way, jumps up and gets it and starts the fast break.
That's a rebound.
Here's a free right there from Edge. Offensive rebound is corralled by Holloway. Fairleigh Dickinson has never won an NCAA tournament game. They've gone to the tournament 2 of the last 4 years, but only 2 times in the last 14 seasons. Little block shot inside with some defense on display from the Knights. Getting in the way and playing handball. Timeout. You watch every game live on your phone, tablet, computer, and favorite streaming device with March Madness Live. Watch now at ncaa.com/March Madness or download the app today. So the winner here will go to Salt Lake City, Utah. And on Thursday, they've got the invitation to play the #1 seed in the West, the Gonzaga Bulldogs.
Well, that's an invitation you have to take. We saw last year that it's not impossible for a 16 to beat a 1.
It sure isn't.
And your nerves will be gone as well.
Yeah, it's a good thing to get your feet wet in this tournament, particularly if you got to go play the Zags.
They go outside. Jenkins with the feed. Missed shot there by Williams. It missed everything, and out of bounds it goes. Shot clock violation.
Good defense there.
This is a Prairie View A&M team, Reggie, that doesn't have a lot of size. They don't block a lot of shots, and so sometimes they have a tough time defending close to the basket. But so far, Fairleigh Dickinson hasn't even tried close to the basket.
Tyshawn Johnson and Darius Williams. The Patterson screen. Blackston on top. Leading scorer, leading rebounder as well. So he has had 6 double-doubles this season.
Look at that.
Long-range shot by Blackston is in.
Kevin, I'm going to tell you, Prairie View is not a great three-point shooting team. Only 31% as a team on the year. And so far, a 15% three-point shooter and a 30% three-point shooter have knocked it down. They're perfect.
They're dialed in and confident. A lot of traffic inside. Hollowell loses the ball. The other way they go. Johnson, cross court. Blackston And in the corner, Antoine Lister. This is the shot. Tip in, try by Patterson, no good. And coming the other way is Jenkins. Look at him fly the other way. And the ball knocked away with a foul.
Nice job by the Panthers attacking the offensive glass. I know they didn't come up with that offensive rebound. And here's that, off that high screen and roll, Blackston knocking down his second three in this first half.
Blackston just picked up his first personal foul as well.
You've got to find Blackston. He is a guy who's going to look to score. And with the scrambling style that the Panthers play, there's going to be guys get open unless you do find him. You got to identify your man quickly.
Jenkins, freshman foul is checked in for the Knights with a drive down low, a little hand check and a foul. With 13:21 to play, with that foul goes on Tyshawn Johnson, who is a senior out of Indianapolis. He picks up his first.
Jenkins is going to have to look to be aggressive offensively. They're begging him to take these outside shots. I know he likes to be the setup man, but he's got to be a little bit more aggressive offensively.
Jenkins outside, shot clock at 9, penetrates and throws over the head of the freshman Brandon Powell, who just checked in. Ball was tipped, shot clock at 8.
Boy, so far, I'm really impressed, Reggie, with the way the Panthers are denying that dribble penetration. They don't have shot blockers, but they've got guys who move pretty quickly. It's hard to get the ball in there.
Prairie View and A&M with 20-plus wins for the first time in school history. 22 wins this season, undefeated at home. With a nice steal, good knockaway inside by Lister. And the other way with a drive, and then another rejection at the other end by Elijah Williams from behind.
That's the college version of a chase down block right there by Williams. Just trailing the play, timed it just right. I mean, beautiful extension and block shot there by Williams.
It's great hustle by Williams. A great job by Powell to get back and slow down the offensive player to give Williams a chance to catch up.
Chancellor Ellis had just checked in wearing number 0. He is now in the game taking the place of Antoine Lister. On top, Tyshawn Johnson. And back outside, the newly instated Chancellor Ellis puts in a 3. Another one. And they are 3 of 4, the Panthers are, from beyond the arc to begin this one.
Well, they were just waiting for the tournament to show that they were a three-point shooting team, gentlemen.
Jenkins, 1-2, no, rebound, Blackston.
But I like it. At least he's going to be aggressive because they are going to dare him to take those shots.
Blackston was the number 3 scorer in the conference. Jenkins may have caught him right there. It goes on edge. As you take a look at head coach Byron Smith, he was the SWAC Coach of the Year. School of about 9,000 students in Prairie View, Texas. That's, about a 40-minute drive outside of Houston. Good feed. Open Blackston, 16-footer. He's got the stroke.
That is textbook old school basketball. Pump fake, not settling for threes. You see how many jump fakes and pump fakes to get a wide open mid-range shot. Everything people think is the three-point line nowadays. That was a textbook old school move right there. Nice closeout and another steal just about.
Nice deflection on top. That was by Darius Williams. As back and forth they go. Some good shot making in this one with the foul on Blackston for a second time. And we step aside. Well, with Selection Sunday a couple nights ago, we saw that 3 of the 4 seeds coming from the Atlantic Coast Conference. And no surprise, Duke, Virginia, and Carolina. Here in Dayton, Ohio, this building has had, and this great campus has had more NCAA tournament games than anyone. As you take a look at Gary Blackston on the bench, 2 quick fouls, leads all scorers with 7. And we'll see if the Panthers, Dan, can still breathe without their leading scorer on the court.
Well, their defense has been the dominant feature in this game so far, Kevin. That's now 5 steals.
That steal was by Andrews.
Unfortunately for the Panthers, Reg, they haven't converted very many of those steals into points.
Prairie View on an 8-0 run. Here's a drive inside by Powell with the rebound by Patterson.
Well, he made that shot harder than it needed to be.
Well, Patterson's the one who has to step up offensively. There's a travel right there.
Sure is.
Patterson's going to have to step up offensively with Blackston on the bench with those 2 fouls.
Fairleigh Dickinson has been scoreless for almost 6 minutes. Dana, what do you have?
You know, Kevin, I was in that huddle with Greg Horrenda, and one of the things they pointed out was the obvious size difference. He pointed out you've got a guard on a big guy, get the ball inside, and 2 players at the same time said, get the passes up higher, that's why they're getting them.
Another turnover.
The Panthers right at this moment, Reggie, have really speeded up Fairleigh Dickinson. The Knights like to play quickly, but they're going a little too fast, I think.
A lot of pace. In fact, they were talking in the press that at first glance, when they start watching tape, it was the pace that caught their eye the most.
8 turnovers here in the first half for FDU.
And only 2 field goals. That's a 3-point. That's good outside. Another 3. Chancellor Ellis puts it in. He leads them in 3-point shots made. Edge. Williams with the dive inside and a foul. Offensive foul.
Make that 9 turnovers now here for FDU. The pressure defensively by Prairie View A&M really disrupting FDU.
That's not a good sign as we're seeing Elijah Williams hobble off the floor.
But Fairleigh Dickinson trying to get something going, but again, I'm not sure they're going too fast. And that's a really nice job by Chancellor Ellis to step in there. He was waiting for a second before that contact even occurred.
The team in white, the Panthers of Prairie View A&M, just the second time they've been in the tournament. Here is a 3. That is good too. It has been an unbelievable display of 3-point shooting. Lister right there, 14-0 run, Prairie View A&M. Well, you take a look at some of the numbers. The turnover number jumps out. Fairleigh Dickinson having a hard time holding on to the ball. Plus 9 points, Dan, in 3-point shooting for the Panthers.
Well, when you have as many turnovers as you have shot attempts, that's not a formula for success. But Prairie View's formula for success has been stealing the ball. They've got 5 steals in the game. They've scored 14 points after Fairleigh Dickinson turnovers. Fairleigh Dickinson just has to settle down.
Really, the 3-point shooting team in this game is Fairleigh Dickinson. They're number 5 in Division I. Edge, 3, good, like right there.
On cue, and that's their game. Dribble penetration by Jenkins. Edge knocking down his second 3 of the evening.
But the first thing they've got to do, Reggie, is throw the ball to the guys in the blue shirts.
That would help, right?
Yeah, doing too much throwing the ball to the guys in the white shirts.
Well, there's a turnover. Edge 2-on-1. He'll float in with the miss. And counted for 2 with the interference call with under 10 to play in the first half.
Now, Kevin, Fairleigh Dickinson is a team that averages almost 8 steals a game. So each of these teams, Reggie, is capable of stealing the ball.
Nice little 5-0 run out of that timeout by FDU to get back in this ball game. But again, it's been done at the defensive end, really, for both of these teams.
11 consecutive wins for the Panthers. They've won 21 of 22 after beginning the season, as we said, 1-11. With the move right here, Jones kicks it outside. Patterson. Rebound inside by Holloway.
And you just have to know your personnel. Patterson is a 15% 3-point shooter. I know he's made one in the game, but if he's going to take them, you lay off of Patterson. You got to guard Lister, you got to guard Ellis, but you stay away from Patterson.
Caleb Bishop. Jaleel Jenkins with the shot clock now down to 9. Works inside on Williams of the Panthers with the foul at the 9:13 mark of this first half. Williams will pick up his first personal foul.
The other thing I think Fairleigh Dickinson, they need to do a better job when they get dribble penetration. Their other players, Kevin, cannot stand around and watch the game. They've got to slide to open areas, be available for passes.
Good drive by Jones inside, but can't get it. Picked up by Holloway. He lost the ball.
Got numbers.
It's Patterson. Hold on here. And the pass overthrown and a little bit wide for Iwan Ellis. And the other way like a blur. Jenkins outside edge. Open three. No. Rebound Holloway. He'll grind and spin and pull the trigger. And out of bounds. Back to the Panthers it goes.
And sometimes it's okay when you get those offensive rebounds to reset and kick back out. You don't have to necessarily go back up.
But particularly when you're underneath the basket. No, you're absolutely right, Reggie. Just because you have the ball down there, there's three guys around you. That means one of your teammates has to be open. Turn around and find him.
Darius Williams checks out for Prairie View A&M. Back in the game, Gary Blackston. 7 points, couple fouls. That's why he was sitting on Byron Smith's bench. 8.5 to play in the first half here from Dayton. The first of 2 tonight, the first of 4 here over the next 2 nights. Outside shot will not go. Little mid-ranger by Gerard Andrus. Oh, behind the back. Edge up and off and out of bounds.
Well, that would have been a spectacular move by Edge, but how about defensively by Ellis to get back? Look at this. Behind the back.
That was pretty.
Oh, that was nice.
Well, Ellis just measures him. He gets himself in position. Looks like he thought about drawing the charge, but then just got his hands up.
Ellis is open down on the right baseline. Look at this.
Wide open inside Andrus with the flush.
Now, I know I said you had to guard Ellis out beyond the three-point line, but you don't leave a guy cutting down the lane.
Well, they're listening to your telecast, Bonner. Come on now.
It's Jenkins. That's a three-point shot. Will not drop that time by Tyler Jones. And the other way comes Blackston. Nice feed and open shot right on the doorstep by Andrus, a junior from Lafayette, Louisiana. And Andrus has got 4.
But that was all created by Blackston's dribble penetration in the open court.
Long shot here. 3 won't go. With the miss is Bishop. Inside Holloway. Got it. Lost it. Edge. The reset.
Boy, it's really a chore to try to pass the ball back outside.
The Panthers defense I've been so impressed with in this first half.
Jenkins trying to penetrate. Holloway inside, kicks it back out. Edge 3, and put back up and in by Caleb Bishop.
Caleb Bishop is the guy I think who's got to get more involved offensively. That's only his 2nd shot attempt of the game.
Bishop, one of the starters. They account for about 80% of the team minutes. They really stick with these starters a lot. That ranks in the top 10 in Division I for the Fairleigh Dickinson Knights.
And now they drop back into this 2-3 matchup zone.
And they're having a tough time defending penetration, and that's why they've dropped back into the zone.
Good explanation. 6.5 to go. It was Bishop flying in out of the rafters with the flush for Fairleigh Dickinson.
Coverage of the NCAA men's basketball tournament is sponsored by the uncompromising Cadillac SUVs. State Farm, here to help life go right. And by Lowe's.
We're back at the first 4 in Dayton. First round coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship begins Friday at noon. You can watch that on ESPN2 and the ESPN app. For more information on game times and listings, go to NCAA.com. Little shove back up and in right there. It was by Devontae Patterson. He now has 5. He averages 13 a game.
And he shoots 57%
Yes,
inside the arc, Kevin. He's a very good offensive rebounder. In that zone, sometimes it's hard to find your blockout responsibilities.
Neither of these teams has ever won in school history an NCAA tournament game.
So something has to give. Is that what you're saying?
Something has to give. Oh, the first, and then the slam by Bishop.
Oh, where did Bishop come from? It's like he was dropped out of the sky.
21 right there. Dennis Jones with the ball, the senior from Fort Worth on top.
Now back to this zone, forcing the Panthers to take outside shots as they drill another baseline jump shot.
Andrus is one of 3 players on Prairie View A&M averaging double figures in scoring.
And again, Andrus is one of those guys who can make the mid-range jump shot, and if you move the ball, that's what you're going to get against this zone.
He's got 6, and he's hit 3 in a row.
with the pressure on the ball.
Yes.
Really impressive.
Good point, yeah.
And they're overplaying the wings as well, forcing the Knights for back cuts, which they're not getting.
Edge scoops it home, and inside, Williams gets the deuce.
Nice usage of the shot clock on that possession there by the Knights.
Well, you got to get some stops now if you're going to climb back in the game.
Here is Blackston.
Well, they've given up threes, and they've given up second shot opportunities. That's a recipe for disaster.
Jones knifing, driving.
This should be and one, too.
It is indeed. What a play by Dennis Jones. Comes in for two the hard way.
What a move. Facing contact.
Well, Byron Smith's guys have really dominated the game, and you have to have both feet on the floor facing the dribbler, and that never happened.
Yeah, this should be a free throw. This should be an and one. I like how the officials here are huddling up. Never put the ball back down, was going up for a shot.
Bishop picked up the foul. That is the first.
Oh, they did
on
not
him.
count it. They're saying the contact happened before. Unless they're going to take a look at it.
There's another conversation going on.
I think this should be an and one.
It certainly appeared that he was in his shooting motion.
So 4:52 to play here in the first half, and we'll have our first review right here in Dayton, Ohio.
Well, here's the move here by Jones. Clearly he was in his shooting motion.
Well, but they're not allowed to go and review that.
They're reviewing to see who the foul was on.
Well, okay, now if they called the foul on somebody reaching in as he was driving to the basket, then it would not have been.
Correct. In his shooting, yes, and they're going to give him one free throw.
Okay, all right. Well, if the foul is on Williams trying to take the charge, then it's a shooting foul. If the foul was on Jones reaching in as he was driving, then it's a non-shooting foul, and they just confirmed.
It's on Bishop, or no, not Jones.
Well,
put it on Bishop, it's number one.
Okay, all right, I thought it was Williams, but Bishop is the other big guy inside.
With the free throw in by Dennis Jones, he's only a 52% free throw shooter. Jones is the Southwestern Athletic Conference Defensive Player of the Year, but with a nice offensive move right there.
And he has helped set the tone defensively, but the key to this first half has been the Prairie View defense. They have really disrupted what Fairleigh Dickinson is trying to do on offense.
Just a different speed.
Well, here it is now. You're 15 seconds on the shot clock. You haven't even started your offense yet.
Jenkins kicks it outside. Edge.
And they know exactly where Edge is every time he has the basketball.
Edge three.
Finally gets a wide open, clear look at a three. Edge, that's, I believe, his third three of this first half.
He's got 11 points. He's got 3 threes. He is their leading three-point shooter.
Because the ball went inside.
Little fadeaway off that baseline will not go by Andrus. And a rebound pulled down by Elijah Williams. Oh, nice shifting gears by Jenkins. Got it to go.
Got to do that more.
Pretty play.
He's been doing it all in this first half. He can dribble, penetrate, but he's been looking to dish. Jenkins got to be aggressive, looking for his offense once he gets in there.
Here's a long shot by Patterson.
Well, what did you say the numbers were for him, Dan?
Well, he made 8 3-point baskets on the entire season before today, and he's made 2 today.
He's got 2 and he's got 8 points.
Oh my goodness, he's showing out.
Williams inside, wide open, uncovered, weak side drive by Bishop. We have the timeout. Byron Smith does not like his defense right there. But Jenkins moments ago with a move and a drive and a deuce for the Knights. Bleacher Report app connects you to the moments that matter faster. Follow your friends and give your take on highlights, scores, and more. Download the BR app today. One loss since January 1st for the Panthers, Dan, of Prairie View A&M. Their speed has been an issue for Fairleigh Dickinson.
Their speed really has been. It forced Fairleigh Dickinson back into that zone, but now the speed has dominated the zone, so they've come out, they've gone back to man-to-man, gone back to their starting lineup.
Laxton gets it on top. Dennis Jones. Andrus. Ooh. Fairleigh Dickinson started 5 of 20. They've gone 5 of 5 since.
But you see how they're not getting any easy ones after they do come up with a rare stop. They got to get better in transition here. Try to score before the Panthers can set this defense.
Bishop inside was taking the shot and fouled on the play. Dana, what do you have?
Well, Kevin, I was in that huddle with the Panthers just a moment ago, and you can tell that they're well aware that the momentum is on their side. In fact, Coach was imploring them to stay in the moment and be with this team. He said, we have got to take this momentum into the second half of the game. We have to use this to our advantage. There can't be any let up.
Dana, thank you. Tyshawn Johnson just picked up his second foul for the Panthers.
Yeah, and even though FDU is only shooting 40% from the field, and you talked about the tide kind of turning and being in Prairie View A&M's favor, I think FDU is starting to shake off the nerves here at the end of this first half. And defensively, they're starting to get a little bit more of their identity back here.
But Reg, they've been able to set the defense. They stopped turning it over.
That's key. 10 turnovers in this first half for the Knights.
Panthers, their second ever NCAA appearance. Their last one for the team in white, Prairie View A&M, 1998. And they lost to Kansas back then. Second time ever, and hasn't this guy, Byron Smith, a former head coach for the Harlem Globetrotters back in the early 2000s. Hasn't he done a terrific job with this team?
Absolutely. And think about this, you know, starting 1-11, there's a lot of places this team could have went. Talking about the band of brothers. See, I'm liking how FDU has played over the last 3 to 5 minutes. I think they're starting to set their defense, pick it up full. They've gone out of that zone, more man pressure. And if I'm the Knights, I'm feeling good going into halftime right now. And you're scoring baskets with no time coming off the clock, getting to the free throw line.
Here's Edge, who has the #1 basketball percentage in the country among active players. Stay tuned for AT&T at the half. Casey Stearns, Seth Davis, Brendan Haywood, and Candace Parker live from our studios with analysis of the first half. Coming up next on the AT&T at the half.
Now the game becomes much easier when the ball's going in the basket, and it's finally going in the basket for Fairleigh Dickinson. And amazingly, with as many times as they turned the ball over, they're only down 6.
Little 10-3 run here by the Knights of Fairleigh Dickinson.
And think about the way that the Panthers have shot the ball from 3. And they're only up 6.
Jones, the hesitation, driving into 2 outside Patterson.
Oh, what an offensive rebound.
Terrific rebound inside by Andrus. And is still alive in the corner. Ellis good! Chancellor Ellis puts in the tray.
Ellis is having himself a ball game. 9 points off the bench here for Coach Smith.
3 of 3 shooting from beyond the arc. Jenkins is short. Picked up by Andrus. They run the other way. Diving in is Jones. Lost the ball. Picked up by Edge. He'll go the other way. Going up against Claxton. Can't get the 2. Picked up inside. Holloway hesitates and pulls the trigger.
Injured player right here. Looks like that's Jones, who was going down in the open court, handling the basketball, holding his left side.
This is Mike Holloway for the Knights of Fairleigh Dickinson. 2 points, but 9 rebounds. And has done a nice job. Yeah, they're going to take a look at Jones on the sideline. And we've got 1:20 to go here in the first half. Watch this again. Fell
He
hard.
sort of slips.
Yeah. Awkwardly didn't, and then
he's diving after the ball, and that's where he hurt himself. I think he landed right on that hip, diving after the pointer.
It's Andrus with the drive inside by Claxton. His team's not afraid to penetrate and dive.
Well, I'm telling you, if you're going to try to press, you better steal the ball, because you're going after the ball, and that allows your opponent to drive right past you and down the lane.
Pat McNamara, who just checked in, picked up his first personal foul. He's only played in 17 games this season. Picks up his first at the free throw line. 65% free throw shooter, Gary Blackston. You'll never look at firefighters the same way again. Watch Tacoma FD, a new comedy from two of the stars of Super Troopers. March 28th on True TV.
You're too much, Harlan. You are too much.
I'm working with a couple of Super Troopers.
Well, this is a nice little response by Prairie View just before the half. Fairleigh Dickinson had cut the lead to 6 points, and Ellis made that three. This is, I think, an important last minute of the half here in terms of the momentum.
I would agree. It has changed, that's for sure. Prairie View at one time led by 13. A drive by Edge. How did he get through there?
There were so many white jerseys around there.
He's got 15 first half points for the Knights. That was a big basket. Jones.
Active hands.
Yes, sir.
Deflections.
Yep.
But how quick was Jones to pick that one back up?
Jones will drive. Kick outside. Three. Wow. Down the hatch. Beautiful Tyshawn Johnson three.
8 of 12 from distance for the Panthers in this first half.
Well, their top three-point shooting game this year, they made 11 3 different times. So this is quite the display. This is a team that shoots 31% as a team on the year from three-point range.
Here's Jaleel Jenkins. Makes a move, has the crossover, gets the screen, off to Edge, down to three. Here is a three.
Ooh, good answer.
Got it! Let's see if that gives Fairleigh Dickinson some momentum going to the second half. But to say the least, a surprising first half.
18 of the 34 there in the first half by Edge. Someone else is going to have to step up offensively in this second half.
Well, and Fairleigh Dickinson is going to have to figure out a way to defend the Panthers. They've been able to do just about whatever they wanted.
Fairleigh Dickinson from the Northeast Conference. They were the tournament champions. The Panthers, the regular season and the conference champions in the Southwestern Athletic. Let's go to Dana.
All right, Coach, you didn't hear it, but Dan Bonner just said you guys have pretty much been able to do what you've wanted throughout this first half. How were you able to have so much success both defensively and on the offensive end in this one?
Just playing with great enthusiasm, Dana, playing with great effort. I mean, God is good. You know, he's got his hands around our team right now, and we're just really playing with a lot of enthusiasm and great effort on both ends of the floor.
You talked about the game plan going in of stopping their penetration and taking care of the basketball, but they did make a little bit of a run there towards the end of the first half. What will the message to the guys be in the locker room?
We just got to be better in the second half. We're one of the best first half teams in the country. We really do well for 20 minutes, but unfortunately, it's a 40-minute game, so we got to come out in the second half and kind of increase our defensive pressure and stop their penetration.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Head coach Byron Smith leading his team to only the 6th winning season in school history at 22-12. That's the end of the first half of the first four in Dayton. We'll take you to our Atlanta studio for the AT&T at the half right after these messages. We're back in Dayton. Staten Island's four funniest friends are back. Watch a new episode of Impractical Jokers. March 28th on True TV. 7-point lead for A&M. Prairie A&M with 8 3-point shots made in the first half.
Coverage of the NCAA men's basketball tournament is sponsored by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Sherwin-Williams. Painting questions? Ask Sherwin-Williams. Allstate. Are you in good hands? And by Uber Eats. Bracket busted in round one? Let's eat.
First four in Dayton. Let's take a look at the Buffalo Wild Wings. First half analysis. Prairie View was on top. Their bench has been terrific. Their three-point shooting, coupled with their 48% shooting, Dan, from the field, is the reason why they're up with this lead at halftime.
Kevin, the best they've shot all year long from three-point range is 55%, but they're at 67 here, and they've had 5 different guys make three-point baskets, and you saw their bench has 15 points. That's because 3 guys have come off the bench and made 5 three-pointers among them. Prairie View's defense set the tone, Reggie, but I thought their offense cashed it in.
Well, I like how Edge finished that first half with a 3. A little bit of momentum, hopefully kind of shifting towards FDU's way here in the second half.
Well, Fairleigh Dickinson turned the ball over 10 times, or 9 times in the first 10 minutes of the game. only once in the last 10 minutes and not at all in the last 8 minutes of the half. So they recovered. Greg Herenda's guys stopped throwing the ball away, and as a result, they got back in the game.
Well, the good thing Coach Herenda has going for him, your go-to guy, your main guy, your senior guy, has it going, has his stroke going offensively in Darnell Edge. Can he have a big second half like he did here in the first?
Kevin, I talked with Greg Herenda coming out of the break. He said, hey, it's a 3-possession game. These guys just need to guard the ball, and we need some shots to go.
All right, Dana, thank you. They go inside, and a turnover right off the bat. Fairleigh Dickinson the other way. Fairleigh Dickinson, 20-13 record, 12-6 in conference play. Shot clock. Plenty of time for the school from Hackensack, New Jersey. Teaneck, and here they go with the turnover themselves. And back the other way come the Panthers.
Anders with the quick hands there, coming up with the steal.
That's another steal. You know, we talked about turnovers. They turned it over right away, did the Knights.
11 turnovers now for the Knights.
Claxton will drive. Outside, it's Patterson.
Patterson is having a night from the three-point line.
But I may be reading this incorrectly.
No, you're not.
The stat sheet shows that on the year he was 8 for 52 from beyond the arc coming in. He's made 3 today.
Some people understand when the moment is big. Patterson does.
Corkscrew move inside.
Another steal.
Holloway lost the ball.
And turnover.
Claxton at the other end, a 3. Good! Wow!
And they're making them pay. Not only are they turning the basketball over, but the Panthers are making them pay in transition at the other end. What a start to this second half here by Prairie View A&M.
That's where they started the first half.
Uh-oh, another turnover almost. It is. That's 3 straight possessions and 3 straight turnovers. Here's Patterson knocking down another 3, going to the ground as well. And look at Blackson, just gets his feet together. Boom, baby, knocking it down.
We must know, though, that the turnover differential for Prairie View A&M, the Panthers, is number 2 in Division I. They're plus 5.8 in forcing turnovers and not committing many themselves.
Well, Kevin, and we said they're 9th in the country, 9th best in the country in stealing the ball. We've seen all of that tonight. The thing that has surprised us is their ability to shoot the 3.
Braxton, Williams in the way, the drive inside here, almost had the ball, picked up inside by Williams. With Jenkins moving for Fairleigh Dickinson, floating inside, missing the 2, tipping is up and in, Caleb Bishop puts it through. In the NFC Championship game, he had a 20-point, 11-rebound performance. Another turnover. They're going to get another 2 here with Holloway at the other end. A nice transition basket.
All right, FDU has to settle in here, and it's got to be done at the defensive end. Outstanding job by the Panthers of controlling the tempo and understanding time and score and when to attack.
Crossover with a feed outside Claxton. The drive, and he'll snap it outside. That's another 3. It's off the rim this time and missed by Patterson. 3 minutes gone. Fairleigh Dickinson. It's Bishop, and no one down low. Getting caught up in that wash was Holloway. He couldn't free himself from his defense, and the ball goes bouncing out of bounds.
I'm shocked at these turnovers, Dan. I mean, 14 turnovers here already, and we just started the second half. Not even 4 minutes in.
And they had 10 at halftime, so it's 4 in basically 3 minutes. And the last turnover was just awful. You know, that may be where you wanted the guy to be, but he wasn't there. You can't throw the ball if nobody's there.
Andrus checks out.
Got numbers.
Ellis is in, along with Lister. Claxton, Lister.
The pace has been really frenetic. And the frenetic pace has favored the Panthers.
Shot clock is down to 7. Laxton with the move. In his way, Edge. The two guards head-to-head. Rebound, Bishop inside. He's got 5. Fairleigh Dickinson, 4 turnovers in the last 6 possessions. 4 minutes gone. 3, Bishop. Rebound, Laxton.
You know, Mike Holloway standing underneath the basket with his hands up in the air saying he's open, but he's got to get someplace where his guys can see him.
Dennis Jones scoops it home. There's no stopping them. They have had their foot on the throttle all night long. The lead is 11.
Well, if you're the FDU Knights, this is not the way to start the second half. Careless turnovers. Just so many swiping hands here by the Panthers and simple turnovers. And here's the last one, and just the frustration here to start this second half. You had a little bit of momentum going into halftime with that 3 by Edge, but just the frustration to start this second half, Dan.
Well, you went the last 8 minutes of the first half without turning it over at all, and now in the first 4 minutes of the second half, you've turned it over 4 times.
Well, 20 of Prairie View's 49 points have come off of Fairleigh Dickinson turnovers. Look at the congestion all over Mike Holloway, who coughs it up. They put 3 guys on him right off the bat. They're so quick.
Well, and Holloway has had a tough time hanging on to the ball down there all night. You know, he's a little frustrated they're not throwing him the ball. Well, the guys don't throw you the ball if you don't hang on to it.
Here's a drive inside
by Jones.
It's Dennis Jones hit on the play. By the way, the steals 9-1 Prairie View, and 5 have been by Andrews. He's been quick. The hands have been quick. Holloway picks up his first for FDU. Welcome back to the first 4. Coke is introducing new delicious orange vanilla Coke. Their first new taste in 12 years. Prairie View A&M. The Panthers won the SWAC regular season championship for the first time in 16 years. Their lead tonight has been, Dan, as big as 13. We've had 4 lead changes. Fairleigh Dickinson has led a couple times by a point, and at the free throw line right now, we've got Dennis Jones, a 52% free throw shooter.
Kevin, part of the problem for Fairleigh Dickinson, other than being behind by 12 points, is that Prairie View A&M is a team that gets to the free throw line. They haven't done that very much today. They've been making 3s, so now they're sort of reverting to form, and their form has won 21 of the last 22 games.
Edge. He's got 18 and 4 triples. Got the high screen, faces the quick double.
Look at the swarming defense here by the Panthers.
Down low, boy, you're right, Dan. He has a hard time holding out of the ball. Mike Holloway struggled right there. There was a foul. It goes on Andrus. It is his first.
Seems like every time Edge comes off those high screen and roll or side screen and rolls, they are electing to trap aggressively and put pressure on everyone else to force those turnovers.
Good point. Edge had a head of steam.
Look at this. Look how they're just flying, running guys off the three-point line. I mean, this is multiple efforts defensively here by the Panthers.
It's a Jenkins 3. Nice offensive rebound collected inside by Bishop. New shot clock pushed away. Jones knocked out of bounds. Shot clock at 26.
Reggie, you're right. They're just flying around, and it's really discombobulating what the Knights are trying to do on the offensive end.
And Dan, when you don't have the size, which they've never had all season because they are a smaller team, you've got to scramble defensively, and we're seeing that tonight.
Jaleel Jenkins will put it up and in. Nice play right there. Leads them in steals, leads them in assists, second leading scorer.
Maybe the best thing you do is drive the ball to the basket. If you don't make it, if the big guys follow it, maybe you get opportunities for tip-in.
Oh, look at this drive right inside here by Jones. Rebound hauled in by Bishop. Back to Jenkins, trying to find some speed themselves. Edge 3.
Now good. This is what the Knights have to do. Get a defensive stop and get out and run and transition and get some easy ones before that swarming defense can get set.
Darnell Edge with 21 points for FDU.
It's his first shot of the second half, the first time he's been open, and Reggie's right, it was in transition.
Look at the double on Blackston with the pressure near midcourt and a throwaway. That pressure, something that Prairie View has been used there by Fairleigh Dickinson.
The lead was 7 at halftime. It's currently 7 now. I think mentally this is a big hurdle right here for the Knights. If they can score here, they can kind of shift the momentum a little bit.
Neither of these teams have ever won in the tournament. Edge a runner.
Look at that.
Williams gets it up high, rips it off, and puts it through.
Big boy rebound right there at the offensive end.
Nobody from Prairie View is really blocking out. They're basing their defense on this scrambling around, forcing tough shots.
Fairleigh Dickinson on a 7-0 run. Andrus and Patterson. A drive and a travel and a turnover.
Surprised Coach Smith hasn't called a timeout here to kind of stop the tide here. What
did Byron Smith tell Dane at halftime?
They're a 20-minute team.
That's right, that they play well in the first half, but they struggle in the second half, and so maybe he's more of a prophet than he wants to be tonight.
Jenkins will drive. Laxton was there.
Edge has to get going. I like it.
Edge, nice scoop feet off that baseline. Nice shot by Holloway. Running the other way. Here comes the drive and the two by Blackston.
Did you see the Euro crossover there by Blackston?
Beautiful. Jenkins. Knocked away and fouled on the play by Dennis Jones.
Well, you could tell they're about 40 minutes away from Houston and watching James Harden. Because what a beautiful, here's the block shot, and here's the finish. Look at this Euro step. I mean, somewhere James Harden is clapping because this young man just stole his move in the open court.
Dennis Jones picks up his second personal foul for the Panthers of Prairie View A&M. Holloway. Jaleel Jenkins across the lane with second to fire.
Got him.
Jenkins is really quick. And Reggie, it looks like they're playing him for the pass, and you've been saying all night long he's got to go to the goal and finish, and he did that time. Now they got to get a stop. Let's see if they can make it interesting. Cut it to 3.
This is a 3. No good by Blackston. Push back up and in. Pretty play. It's Andrus. He's got 8. First 2 of the second half.
Well, how good has he been tonight with his steals? And now he's got 8 points, 5 steals.
What a game. What a game.
Jenkins 3. No. Holloway picks up a foul for the Knights of Fairleigh Dickinson. It's his second. Just when the pressure's applied, Prairie View A&M pushes ahead.
Moments ago, we saw the frustration of that ill-advised 3 by Jenkins. Coach Arenda is looking at his point guard like, what is that about? And look at the little nudge here, the frustration here. Emotions are high. And then the assistant coach has words with Jenkins just to settle him down because you had gotten back into the ball game playing your brand of basketball. You take an ill-advised shot, and the Panthers are off to the races.
Here is Jones on top. Approaching 11.5 to go here in the second half. The winner will take on Gonzaga, the #1 seed in Salt Lake City, with a dive inside. Patterson got it, and give Patterson 13 points on the play.
Well, he just drove. It looked like to me like they were in that zone again, and if they have not defended well in that zone, he just drives right by. That's pretty easy. And we said that's where Patterson is most effective inside. He's made some threes today, but that was a dynamite move against pressure.
Reggie, we know he's got one very interested TV viewer down in Texas.
Yes, Uncle Mark Cuban is excited about the play of Devontae Patterson. His wife and son are at the game here cheering on the Panthers and Devontae. Mark Cuban, big-time Prairie A&M fan and follower because of his nephew.
The drive inside Edge. Yeah, the foul called on the Prairie View A&M defense. It goes on Iwan Ellis, senior from Fort Worth.
They had cut it to 5.
Yep.
And when you're trying to make a comeback, oftentimes you don't do it. If you're down by 10, you don't do it with a 10-0 run. You come back, the other team makes a run at you. You just got to keep clawing away.
I give the Panthers all the credit because they've answered every call here by the Knights. Every time they've gone on a run, they found an answer.
Holloway. Missing the shot. Good looking rebound inside by Bishop. And then thrown away.
Well, I don't know if I'm on that team. I'm going to throw it to Holloway anymore. He's having a hard time. He's having a hard time catching the ball. Now, in his defense that time, Bishop was about 2 feet away from him and threw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
But the initial pass that came to him was soft, and he dropped it and then took the shot.
Under 11 to go with the move right here. Dennis Jones.
Look at that.
What a cut! What a block! Mike Holloway with the great rejection. Jenkins unleashed the other way. Counted foul! What a play!
And this is how you get back in the good graces of your coach. Jenkins not settling for a three, but after that fantastic block by Holloway Jr. led to this transition bucket. Look at the rotation over by Holloway.
Holloway does such a great job getting over there, Reggie, and then avoiding the contact, and then Jenkins driving into a crowd. And that's what you've had to do all night, because every time they drive, there's a crowd in there.
So here's Jenkins, who last year was a 68% free throw shooter. This year, he is up to 87%, one of the largest increases in all of college basketball from one year to the next at the line. In Division I for sure. Driving and knocked away. Jenkins making things happen. They got a fake and a fire. Edge. Darnell Edge knocks in a three.
But that was all made by Jenkins. We saw the frustration three, the frustration by the coaches, the timeout. Now back-to-back plays by Jenkins, making things happen here for the Knights.
What a great play. Great steal and then a great decision.
Edge now has 24. Outside. Long three-point shot will go by Chancellor Ellis. It will be FDU's ball.
This is just a great decision. He looked like he was going to the basket, and Edge, you got to give Edge some credit. He ran to the spot. He didn't just assume his teammate was going to try to shoot a layup.
Edge now with a three right here. That's good. Gary Blackston puts in a long-range shot.
The go-to players on both teams.
Yes.
Blackston for the Panthers and Edge here for the Knights doing work.
That ends a Fairleigh Dickinson 19-9 run. Jenkins, Bishop.
What a game. What a game.
That ties the Prairie View A&M high for the season with 11 three-point baskets.
And we got 9 to play.
It's Edge. Jenkins a floater.
Jenkins has been a different player since that timeout and that talking to from the coaching staff of the FDU Knights.
There's a foul on Jenkins trying to keep up with the driving Gary Blackston of Prairie View A&M.
And Coach Horrenda has said that Jenkins is one of his favorites. Look at this three here by Blackston. I mean, there's a little floater by Jenkins. He's up to 11 points on 5 of 12 shooting.
Powell just picked up the foul, his first for the Knights.
1-3-1 zone here now for the Knights.
Johnson. Give it out to Blackston. Blackston shot is a stray.
Dribble penetration here by Jenkins. He's getting anywhere he wants.
He sure is. Jenkins to the left. It's a two-point game.
Jenkins is putting on a show, people.
It's Ellis trying to maneuver.
How'd that ball get through?
Look at that. Checked it inside. Bishop knocks it away. It's Jenkins behind the back. And too much.
Now that was not, that's what he had to do. If he was going to get by that guy, that's the move he had to make. But the ball just caught behind his back. Jenkins taking the ball, he goes through contact, and in this game, that's what you have to be able to do is go through contact. But there's nothing wrong with that play right there by Jenkins. The ball just got caught behind his back.
There
and look at the love. And look at the love now.
And that's what Greg Horenda's telling him.
This is why I love Coach Horrenda. He disciplines him at one end on the ill-advised shot and has given him love 2 minutes later.
Well, now you got to keep scrapping. He's been the guy that's led your comeback. And I think Jenkins just needed a breather. Here's that zone again. Matchup zone look. They haven't had a lot of success with this defense tonight.
Claxton got the screen. Outside, Jones knocked away. Another block shot, retrieves his miss. Shot clock at 1. Shot clock violation on the Panthers of Prairie View A&M. It was a 13-point lead early on, but the guards have come to play.
Jaleel Jenkins is a guy everybody knew was quick. His reputation is as a pass-first guard, but he has been creating for himself tonight during this comeback that has seen Fairleigh Dickinson crawl back within 2 points. Got his coach upset before, makes his coach very happy now.
And now he's back on the floor as well here for the Knights.
Well, as hard as he was playing, he certainly needed a breather. This game has been intense from the start.
Fairleigh Dickinson on a 10-3 run. Jenkins has 9 of their last 12. Driving here, floating one up, and it's down! It's another one. 11 of their last 14 off the fingertips of Jaleel Jenkins.
I've been saying it all night. He can get anywhere he wants on the floor here because of that quickness. The question is, was he going to be aggressive offensively? We're seeing that in the second half.
Andrus. Rebound by Williams.
Go to work. Why not?
12-3 run. Looking for that lead. Jenkins makes a move. Claxton off balance. The quick double. Edge on top. He's got 24. To the line and outside. Bishop 2. No. Rebound inside. It's grabbed and it's put back up and in. Holloway. And it's the first lead for Fairleigh Dickinson since early in the game, up then 6-5.
Reggie Holloway has struggled in there all night long. But he's battled guys. They've been around him all night. He's got 3 guys around him, and at 6'8", 245, he finally is able to power it up through the traffic.
Think about this. That is 12 offensive rebounds for FDU. They have been dominating on the offensive glass. Another reason why they've always been within striking distance when their shooting was failing them in the first half.
Holloway has started 123 of his 126 games with this program from Pittsgrove, New Jersey, a junior.
Holloway Jr., 5 of those offensive rebounds.
Nice across the lane bucket right there by Devontae Patterson. Give him 15.
And that stops that 8-0 run there by the Panthers.
That's a nice job, attacking inside against that zone defense.
Well, now the guard play is huge for FDU. Nice throw-over pass to Holloway.
Holloway again with a foul. He was in a straitjacket and tried to squirm his way free and got the foul out of the defense. It goes on Dennis Jones, who picks up his 4th for Prairie View A&M.
See, gentlemen, come tournament time, when it's a one-and-done situation, when you've got to play your best to win 6 games and win it all, you've got to have strong guard play. And Edge set the tone offensively for FDU, and then Jenkins followed along as we've seen in the second half.
Play the official bracket game of NCAA March Madness, the Capital One NCAA March Madness Bracket Challenge. It's ready for your picks, so get your bracket started now at ncaa.com or in the March Madness live app. It's a 3, it's deep in the corner, and it goes right down the middle by Chancellor Ellis.
He has been spectacular off the bench. 4 of 5 from downtown, Dan, 12 points.
Well, he's their best 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
He's a transfer from New Mexico State. Jenkins, the screen, the feed, Edge trying to sky, hit and foul.
But now this is it. We've come to an interesting part of the game. Fairleigh Dickinson has spent the entire game crawling back in the game. They finally took the lead, and now Prairie View A&M has responded. So can Fairleigh Dickinson, with as hard as they've played, can they keep it going?
Edge from the free throw line is 2 of 2.
You come all the way back. and then you're behind again. So you've got to keep it going.
And as you know, Dan, it takes a lot out of you to exert all that energy to get back into the ball game.
Edge and Holloway for the Knights of Fairleigh Dickinson in their second NCAA tournament game. The first year they were freshmen and they got whacked. Now a second trip. It's the second trip in 4 years for this program.
That was what, against Florida Gulf Coast, right?
It was indeed.
Yes.
31-point loss. They're trying to make amends. The winner will go on to the first round. Neither team has ever won an NCAA tournament game with a great drive right there. Getting high and coming down hard. Devontae Patterson, give him 17.
They're trying to pressure the ball, and when you push everybody out on the perimeter, something's going to be open on the inside. You've got to have somebody guarding the goal.
See if Edge can keep that edge offensively here for FDU.
Jenkins, single digits on the shot clock. He'll dance, he'll drive, he'll float, he'll score!
Jenkins, JJ is putting on a show out here. Initially, great defense by Patterson, but Jenkins found a way to continue to get into the paint.
Jenkins 17, Edge 26. These guards of Fairleigh Dickinson have been dynamite. Ellis 3, no, he just hit from there. Rebound Edge, out to Jenkins. 3 on 3, oh, the traffic, the convergence, and Jenkins gets out of it. Step back 3.
Oh my goodness. No. Oh no, he didn't.
Oh, yes, he did.
JJ, Jalil Jenkins putting on a clinic here, people.
He has made 8 of his last 9 shots in this one.
The only one he missed was the one that got his coach mad at him.
And he might have been mad at that one.
Claxton on the fly. Free throw line jumper will not go. Rebound Jenkins. His 4th with 20 points.
I do a high screen and roll with Jenkins. And once they get the switch they want, let him attack offensively. Create the switch here.
It looks like everybody's just trying to catch their breath.
Yeah, right.
Here it is. This is what he wants. He wants to switch. Now they've got numbers on the backside.
Holloway with a good catch and a double.
There it is. You want the best. 2 players decided to stay with Jenkins, and they had the mismatch on the backside.
Claxton outside, gives it off to Patterson. 3 now. Rebound by Williams. It's Fairleigh Dickinson's biggest lead tonight.
Now, the Panthers have done it all night with defense. They got to ramp up the defense and try to get a turnover here.
And Dan, here comes the same play. Can they create that mismatch again on that high screen and roll?
Jenkins, Edge, 3. Good!
Wow!
With a look at our game summary in the second half, Fairleigh Dickinson has shot 67%, and they have got a lead of 73-66. Dana Jacobson.
Kevin, Byron Smith was imploring his players to not take those 3 balls. They do not need 3s right now. He said you need to make a stop defensively. They reminded the players that 2:51 is an eternity. They have plenty of time to get back. They had the lead with defense, as you guys have been talking about. That's what they need to do. That defense will spark their offense.
And he's absolutely right. And Kevin, they're shooting the 3s at an unbelievable rate, but sometimes you become enamored with that shot. That's not their shot. Their ability is to drive to the basket, get to the line.
Fairleigh Dickinson right now on a 10-0 run over the last 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
And the Panthers aren't turning them over like they did the first 5 minutes.
Good feed, but the reverse will not go by Patterson.
Now you got to milk some time off the clock here. And what better player to have the ball in his hands than Jalil Jenkins?
The backcourt of Edge and Jenkins have combined for 49 points for Fairleigh Dickinson.
Holloway's got himself 13 rebounds.
Out to Bishop. Dangerous pass.
Jones should have had that.
Williams will drive. A reach in with a foul. May go on Chancellor Ellis, or will they put it on Blackston?
Well, great uses in possession there by FDU. You run a lot of clock off, and you get the foul and going to the free throw line.
Blackston just picked up his third.
I put a 59% free throw shooter at the line for a 1-on-1.
Rebound by Blackston. Off to Jones.
Attack the basket.
Patterson inside. Jones tries the English off the glass. With a rebound by Bishop.
Well, now you've got to make something happen defensively, and I think unless you get a steal right away, you got to attack him, you got to foul him, you got to do something. Just can't let him dribble out the clock.
Well, be careful trying to guard Jenkins this far out. He's too quick.
We've had a 20-point turnaround in this game with a foul. Lunging in right there with the foul. Patterson, number 2.
Well, there's two problems with that, Kevin. They waited till there was 9 seconds left on the shot clock before they committed the foul, and they fouled an 87% free throw shooter. You mentioned his great improvement in free throw shooting this year, but what you want to do is double team him, try to make him give up the ball, and if Holloway or Williams gets the ball, then you foul them.
We have Jenkins at the free throw line. In his 6th season as the head coach, Dana of Fairleigh Dickinson, Coach Greg Herenda.
Yeah, you know, and Greg is just happy to be here, truly, right now. 11 months ago, at the Final Four in San Antonio, he suffered a horrible illness. He had 2 blood clots, one in his leg, one in his abdomen, a fever of 104.5. They had to lay him on a bed of ice. He told his wife he didn't want to die there. It took about 15 days for him to be able to get out of the hospital, and the way that he told one reporter, it was, I went from the bed to the wheelchair to a cane, walking, and now we're dancing. And it is obvious that he doesn't want his players to play for him, but his appreciation of the moment is certainly there.
Well, he's a minute and a half away from punching a ticket to go to the first round in a date with Gonzaga. Long 3 is good. With 20 points, Gary Blackston. It's a 6-point game with 1:24 to go. Back at the first 4, one championship is true martial arts. MMA legends Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson and Eddie, the underdog, and Underground King Alvarez will compete in their debut one championship bout on March 31st. Stream A New Era Sunday, March 31st on BR Live. We've seen some Mighty Mouse guys here, haven't we? These young guards, these small guards have made a big imprint on this one.
Take care of the basketball now. And they fouled the wrong guy. Darnell Edge, 89% on the season.
Well, I thought Fairleigh Dickinson did a great job getting the ball to the proper guys. They tried to get it to Edge. He wasn't available. They got it to Jenkins. You don't want to foul Jenkins, and then he put it in the hands of Edge. That's just great execution by the Knights.
Fairleigh Dickinson still has 2 fouls to give. Keep that in your hip pocket. 4 of 4 from the free throw line tonight. Darnell Edge led the conference in minutes played.
Well, Kevin, and that was, he made the first one, so it didn't make any difference anyway, but that was the 10th foul, so from now on they'll be shooting 2. Boy, Greg Herenda's got to feel great. They've been battling from behind the whole night. You know, he's last time we showed him, he's down on the other end of the bench, so he's moving around on the bench.
Edge is 1 point shy of a career high. A 3 with a great rejection by picked up out here. Blackston with a 3. Caught! And a foul!
A 4-point opportunity here by Blackston. I mean, offensive rebound. It becomes a scramble. Blackston. Here's the shot. Look at the contact, the concentration. I mean, this is absolutely beautiful right here.
Well, one of the problems for Fairleigh Dickinson in terms of getting that rebound is Holloway thought they had the ball. He ran down to the other end. At the end of that replay, you saw him running back into the picture, but it was too late.
Now, can you set your defense without fouling. You don't need to foul right now.
Well, you don't want to foul him.
It's Edge. Right side pressure.
I think I'd foul somebody else.
He almost had it.
Bishop held on to it. Bishop is a 73% free throw shooter.
And so far, the Knights are doing a great job at keeping the ball in the hands of their good free throw shooters.
Lister picks up his second foul. Caleb Bishop, out of St. Anthony High School, Patterson, New Jersey, is at the free throw line.
Jenkins and Edge, they got to keep the ball in their hands. Good concentration here by Bishop. Stepping to the line.
Fairleigh Dickinson from the line tonight, 11 of 16. Prairie View A&M has gone 5 of 7.
I'd look for the three right here.
Waxton, three. Good! Another one!
And now you really don't need to foul. You're down by 2. No need to foul. Plenty of time.
Edge. Timeout. Timeout.
What a performance by the guards on both of these teams. Waxton, 7 quick points here to pull the Panthers within 2.
Game reset. Fairleigh Dickinson, the Knights, on top by 2. They've led by as many as 9. They've trailed by as many as 13 tonight.
Well, if I'm FDU, I'm keeping the ball in number 3 hand, Jalil Jenkins' hands, and let him create. We saw in this second half him being able to get wherever he wanted in the paint off that high screen and roll with Holloway.
Well, if you're Fairleigh Dickinson, I don't think you necessarily want to sit on the ball and put yourself up against the pressure of the shot clock. When you get an opportunity, you go.
Slashing is Jenkins. Williams with a great feed and put up and in by Mike Holloway.
Well, you still got time. Get the ball down the court and get a quick basket.
Claxton, 3. No, Holloway the rebound.
That's the guy you needed to foul, not that one.
Out to Edge, fouled on the play.
You know, for all his struggles catching the ball earlier in the game, Mike Holloway has made some plays down the stretch. We said he has 13 rebounds. That basket gave him 10 points, so he has a double-double. He's blocked 4 shots.
Yeah, blocked 4, 14 rebounds, and 10 points for Holloway Jr.
The bench at Fairleigh Dickinson has not scored a single point tonight, but they don't play a lot of guys off the bench. But Edge now with his 32nd point. They have combined, the 2 guards, Edge and Jenkins, for 54 of the Knights' 81. The winner will play Gonzaga, the number 1 seed, Thursday in Salt Lake City. New career high for Darnell Edge, 33 points. Driving is Claxton. That's it.
Got that one.
Jenkins the other way. Fairleigh Dickinson is going to go to the first round with their first NCAA tournament win ever. So with this play-in game, it'll be Fairleigh Dickinson moving on to take on top seed Gonzaga. That'll be in Salt Lake City, and that'll be Thursday night at 7:30 in the East. Fairleigh Dickinson trailed by 13 points early in the second half. And they outscored Prairie View A&M 48-29 after that.
Coach, you said to me at halftime, it's a 3-possession game. How did these guys stay in it, and then how were they able to take that lead?
Look at the kind of kids we have. Jaleel Jenkins. They got so much heart. We were down at St. Francis, Brooklyn, Mount St. Mary's. We lost 15 games in a row when these guys were freshmen. And we're going to Utah.
How does that feel to get the first tournament win in school history and move on to take on a 1 seed?
It's history. It's amazing. All the glory goes to my players and my staff. I just basically got to get out of the way more, but... Jaleel!
I'm going to grab Jaleel here if we can get him. Jaleel, overcome by emotion, you're walking away from me. We got your moment for you. What changed for you in the second half? 2 points in that first half, 22 to finish the game.
I just kept playing my game. I know second half there'd be more space for me to get in the lane and play for my teammates.
There was one point in the second half, you missed a shot. Coach did not seem happy with you when you went into that huddle. You came out and you didn't miss. Do you remember what he said to you, or does that just stand out to us?
He just said don't settle for the 3. He said I go through the whole anytime I want. So he said just wait until your time comes. You got the first ever NCAA tournament win in school history, and you take on Gonzaga. How does that sound? It sounds great. It's my first time here. I'm loving everything that's going on. We'll get ready for the Gonzaga and just see what happens. Congratulations.
Jaleel Jenkins is listed at 160 pounds. From Ranson, West Virginia, playing for Fairleigh Dickinson. And boy, did he
don't take it off.
You know we're on the air, right, Reg?
Hey, well, I got the mascots over here wanting to take pictures.
Oh, my God.
That's what it's about.
Fairleigh Dickinson moves on. First NCAA tournament win ever. The first 4 continue shortly with Temple taking on Belmont. But first, we take you back to our studios right after these messages.